So you've scripted, recorded, and edited your podcast, and now it's time to export the final file and share it with your audience. But there is more than one export option, so which one do you choose? I'm Mike, and today I'll be talking about Mp3 Quality for podcasts. In the future videos, I'll talk about hosting a little bit more in depth. However, if you're looking at one now, more than likely you'll see different storage options. And some platforms will offer storage in megabytes, other in length of your episodes, and some platforms will just say 4 episodes per month. Obviously, that doesn't mean they calculate storage in different ways. It's still megabytes. And it's safe to say they measure it based on average Mp3 quality of 128 kilobits per second with stereo file, which works out to just under 1 megabyte per minute of content, which is 60 megabytes per hour of your podcast or 30 megabytes per half an hour. For a majority of shows, especially interview-style podcasts such as Joe Rogan or Tim Ferriss' School of Greatness, 128 kilobits per second for MP3 file is more than enough. Less than that and listeners will hear the difference. More than that and the file will grow in size. So, in my opinion, 128 kilobits is kind of a radio style quality. Now, there are exceptions of course. First of all, you've got to ask yourself, what kind of show you want to make? Even though I've just recommended 128 kilobits per second, I export case file in 192, which is a better sound quality, but the size of the file grows about 1.5 times larger. Why? Because case file is a little bit more intense production, with high quality narration, background music and ambience, and I want to achieve that highest quality of sound even with the constraints of MP3. So if you're looking at a similar production or maybe audio drama with actors, then the higher quality of sound the better. At one point I've experimented with 320 kilobits per second for the MP3, which is the highest quality. But soon after we've got complaints from people saying the files were too big for download or streaming. And that's where you've got to remember that some people will listen to your shows on mobile phones with data plans and they don't want to use it all up on downloading your podcast. So I quickly reverted to 192 kilobits per second and replaced the file. And I've done some listening experiments and I could hear the difference between 128 and 192. And that's why I've stuck with the latter. So if you're unsure and want to be on a safe side, just go with 128 kilobits per second. And I think that would be more than enough for a simple show. There's also a conversation to be had about AAC versus MP3 compression, mono versus stereo sound, and I will go into these topics in the future videos. But for now, if you're not sure, go with MP3 stereo files as all podcasting platforms will support these. You probably read or heard that it's better to go with a mono podcast because it will save you in storage. It's half the size of stereo files. And that's true, but more than likely you will have some music. Be it intro or outro, maybe you'll have some musical stinks within your episodes. And even though the narration or the dialogue will sound fine in mono, which is just one channel, the music will sound rubbish, especially if you go for some kind of elaborate intro. So, to recap, if you're not sure and want to export your podcast, go with MP3 128 kilobits per second stereo file. But that's it for today. I'm Mike from Mike Migas Production. If you like this video, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.